every single person who puts on a uniform in defense of our country is a patriot. But as we fight a different kind of war, I say that those individuals who are standing shoulder to shoulder in the definition of what true patriotism is, standing up for your fellow Americans, being willing to sacrifice to protect them and their lives, just like our brave soldiers do. Every one of you who's following what we've asked you to do is also a patriot. Those of you who are wearing masks are patriots. Those of you who are socially distancing and being separated from your families over great holidays like Thanksgiving and the upcoming holidays like Hanukkah and Christmas, you are the true patriots because you're selflessly fighting to protect the lives of your fellow Americans. And for that, I want to thank you. And so as we begin what is known as the winter strategy, we'll call it the winter campaign. We reflect on other winter campaigns of the past. Think the Battle of the Bulge, where American forces in the middle of winter were surrounded by the enemy, but fought back and won. Western New Yorkers, that's who we are. That is our battle of 2020 and into 2021. So here's the governor's plan that he announced just today. Our administration will be executing a 5-part winter strategy. First of all, given our infection rate in Western New York, which is higher than any state, any place in the rest of the state, upwards of 8% in Erie County, over 7% in the region is overall, we have to address the shortage of hospital beds. We are not there yet, but we are on a trend that is very disturbing. Right now, we have about a 35% availability of hospital beds in Western New York. We need to get that up higher. So our winter campaign is going to include increasing capacity by 50%, making sure that we have enough beds, but also staffing, calling on retired doctors and nurses to come back into service. We're going to need you, just like they did in downstate when they were hit with the ravages of this just a few short months ago. And we also want to make sure that we have sufficient protective equipment. Remember those scary days when we are scouring the earth in search of simple things like masks and gowns. We're going to make sure we have enough supply. So we're going to prepare field hospitals. Literally, think about the military. We're going to have field hospitals set up here in Western New York to be able to handle what we think is going to be a surge of cases following this Thanksgiving holiday. So when you think about those images on television across the country, we are working tirelessly to make sure we can prevent those images of overcrowded hospitals and people not getting the service they need. Secondly, we have to boost our capacity for testing, whether they're frontline workers, healthcare workers, nursing home workers, our students going back to schools. There's so many people, as well as the general public. So we're going to be ramping up our testing capacity. Thirdly, it is so important that we keep our schools open, particularly for K through eighth grade. This category of individuals, they're not out in the community on their own like their older brothers and sisters who are in high school might be. This is a group of individuals who need to be in classrooms. And if the area conditions are safe, we're going to work with them to make sure that the schools are able to do the testing, working with the county officials as well. And we've changed the protocols of what happens in a orange or red zone. As most of you know, much of Erie County is in an orange zone, and students have been told to go home and come back only after 4 days to allow for cleaning and not go back until they've been able to test 100%. We modified those protocols today to be able to increase the chances that students will be able to get back into school. Number 4, we are continuing to emphasize the need to not have small gatherings with people in your household. I know people desperately want to connect with their friends, and watching a Bills game is a lot more fun with a group of people, especially when it's down to the wire like yesterday. It's something you want to share as a community. Do it over a Zoom call. Watch the game over Zoom with your friends, because 65% of cases, 65% come from these small living room in your house gatherings. That is a fact. It's something we're very concerned about. Lastly, our 5th prong of our winter strategy deals with vaccination. I want to assure everybody that we are working tirelessly to make sure that we will have a robust distribution plan so we can get it out to the high need classes first. We've identified them as being our healthcare workers, frontline workers, people who come in contact, people in nursing homes, et cetera, and get it out to the general public as soon as possible. So again, our numbers in Western New York are not acceptable. They are upwards of 7-8% and has been that way for a long time. But my friends, we are very, very anxious about what's going to happen in the next 2 weeks when we see the results of people who may not have followed our guidelines. over the last few days, particularly over the holidays. So right now, we're all on the front lines. We're in this battle together, but I have faith. I have so much faith in Western New Yorkers. And as a native, I know there's nobody I'd rather be in a foxhole with to see this through, to see this war through and us victorious over this virus than Western New Yorkers. We've been down and out before. We can win this battle, and I need every one of you to commit to this as we head into some perilous times with a lot of more holiday time together. Please be smart and be a patriot. Wear your masks. We can get our businesses back going. We can get everybody back to normal.
That is Lieutenant Governor Kathy Hochul detailing the state's 5-point strategy for combating COVID this winter. We will continue to stream her remarks on our website, WGRZ.com.